and start the slide dulu ya. So in the last class, we did the calculation, we revised on the calculation for precedence diagram. Okay, before we move forward, are you clear with the test? Hello class. Are you clear with the test? So it will be held on 10 June, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it will be held on 10 June, which is around 2 minggu setengah more or less, something like that. Okay, so the topics will be from chapter 1 until chapter this one. Okay, so the calculation of precedence diagram, including float and what's not. Okay, and also CPM would not include the calculation, but you will need to know what is the difference between CPM, which is activity on arrow, with precedence diagram, which is activity or not. Okay, so I think in the last class we did on the calculation of forward, backward, I think shouldn't be a problem dah. Okay, so given you have various relationship, finish to start, start to start with lag, you should be able to calculate dia punya forward and dia punya backward pass. Okay, so earliest start time, earliest finish time. So I think this one we have done. And then the important part is basically from the last class is basically on the total float and also free float. Okay, so just to revise balik, total float is basically easier to calculate. Okay, so it is only your late finish minus your early finish. So in simple manner, anything that is the same, the above earlier start, earlier finish, late start, late finish, the same number like this, okay, then that will be the critical activity. Okay, so meaning to say that if you have one long line from the beginning until the end with the total flow is 0 macam ni, so that will be critical path. Okay,
Sorry,
so
Doctor.
yes.
You are not presenting.
I'm not present. Oh, okay, okay. Sekejap. Okay, so I think I'm presenting now. Right, so I was here talking about the total float. Okay, so total float is the amount of time, the duration. Okay, so the duration each activity could be delayed before it affects the total duration. Okay, so total float is about how many days an activity could be delayed from the current finish time before it affects the total duration, total float. So total float is about total duration. So meaning to say that if you have 0, 0, 0, 0 day of delaying, if this activity happens to delay, it will cause delay to the project. Okay, so you will not be able to finish within the time frame of this 19 days. Okay, so for example, if activity A, the duration is 3 days, okay, but you complete the project within 5 days. Okay, so which means rather than completing within 3, you're completing 5. Tak boleh lah. Okay, so it will affect the project duration. So that is total float. Okay, so activities which are not on the total float, such as this. Okay, so you have activity D, total float of 1 day. You have activity F, total float of 1 day. It means that this activity could be delayed for 1 day before it affects the total duration. So you will see that you might find all this total float and free float with number, especially at the junction. Okay, so because why? We chose the bigger number here. So yang smaller number ni would have the additional time to complete. Okay, so that's the reason. And free float pula, so free float is about the next activity. So it does not concern that much directly about the total project duration, but it concerns about the next activity. Why? Sometimes you might want to see, for example, activity D, you might want to see, do you have any time between the current activity D and also the start of the next activity F. So free float depends on the relationship. When you're talking about start to start, your concern is when B will start. Okay, so do you have a time gap from the time A start and before B start? Ada tak any time gap in between? Okay, so that is why you want to find the free float. So your relationship plays a role in your free float. So if you're talking about start to start, your concern is the start of the next activity to the start of the current activity. Okay, so 3 minus 0 minus lag. Okay, so that will be a free float. So free float is always to do with the next activity. Okay, so we ended with that actually. Okay, so we have done the forward, backwards, a total float, free float, and for today, I think I've asked you to calculate or make a simple calculation on an activity from here, from another slide. So, okay, so far, any question in regards to this?
No.
No, clear,
Okay.
all right, good. So actually it is a little bit tricky to teach this. Wait, I need to get my all right, so actually it's a little bit tricky to ajar this thing through online, but I think let's see. I suppose we can manage. Okay, so let me share the slide with the exercise that I require you to do. Did everyone complete the exercise?
Yeah.
Okay, so did anyone have it in a slide form which you can show ke? Tak ada, semua in paper.
Paper.
Okay, never mind. Let's go through this together. Okay, so let me just create a new slide. Mana? Okay. Okay, so let's first start with the network diagram itself. Okay, so by right you have, so if you are given this, okay, so you would see that you have activity A and do not have any precedence. And then you have activity B, the precedence will be A. Okay, so C, the precedence will be A, D, B, and so on. Okay, so leceh sikit for me to draw macam ni. Okay, so let's start with A first. Okay, so and then you have activity B and activity C, the precedence will be A. And then you have activity D, the precedence will be B. Then you have activity E, C, and F, D. So E, the precedence will be C, and F, the precedence will be D. And then you have G, the precedence will be EB. E, G, and activity H, F, I, G, H. H, H, F, I, G, H. Okay. Okay, so the duration for, can you please just let me know so that I don't need to click. So what's the duration for A? 5, eh? B?
5,
B?
6,
6, C?
4,
D?
8,
8, E?
8,
8, F?
10,
10, G?
10,
10, H?
5,
5, and I?
8.
8. And the relationship between A and B? Any relationship? Any special relationship between A and B?
Start to start 3, finish start to start 2,
Start.
Start to start 2,
finish to finish 3.
finish to finish 3. Okay. Any relationship between A and C?
Tak ada, no.
Okay. B to D?
B to D, start to start 4,
Start to start 4,
finish to finish
Finish to
4.
finish 3.
finish to finish 3, eh? Okay. B to G?
3 ke 4? BD.
B to D?
4.
BD 4.
Finish to finish 4.
Dua-dua 4. Start to start 4, finish to finish 4.
Okay. B to G?
B to G tak ada.
C to E?
C to E tak ada. No.
E to G?
E to G, start to start 4, finish to finish 3.
Tak ada.
Okay. D to F?
D to F, start to start 5,
Tak ada.
Okay. F to F tak ada, eh?
F to F ada 4. Delay sikit.
Okay. F to H?
Tak ada.
Tak ada. G to E? G to I?
Tak ada.
H to I?
Tak ada.
Alright. Okay. So thank you for responding. Alright. So let's move on. And before we start, what duration did you get? The final duration? Lebih kurang. What did you get?
34.
34. Okay, nice. So betul lah tu, you guys. Kalau dah ada ramai. Okay, so this will be your sort of like a final example on precedence diagram. Okay, so let's go through it properly, complete it properly. So if you are able to answer it, I think should be fine lah for the test. Okay, and then just find the total float, free float, and so on. So moving on, next week we will. Moving on next week will be the class by Dr. Mazna, right? Oh yeah. For this class, basically next week will be taken over by Dr. Mazna. Okay, so but however, I will still do the recording for the other class. So if you require additional referencing, or you just need, you know, additional additional material, you can just look into the recording. Okay, so I will still be teaching the other group, C4, C5. So I will do the recording. So in case if you need additional material, then you boleh just go through the recording. Okay. So next week we'll be going on with the date calculation. So yang ni is numbering with duration. So date, you will be able to get the exact start date, exact finish date of each activity. Okay. All right. So let's start with the calculation. Okay. So obviously you will start it with the forward pass. Okay, so it determines your earliest start time, earliest finish time. Okay, so 0 plus 5, you will have 5 here. So A to B, you have two relationship. Okay, so you want activity B to start together after 2 days. Okay, and you want it to finish together after 3 days. Okay, so meaning to say that it's more or less A and B is working in parallel, cuma lambat sikit. So it's not together, but it's working parallel, lambat sikit. So that we do not need to wait for A to complete the entire section, baru B masuk. It will take a longer period of time. So this relationship happens when you want to in tandem. Okay, so in parallel, but slightly lambat sikit. Okay, so that activity A could be completed a portion of it. Okay, so two relationship, you will need to evaluate both so that there are no overlapping of the activities. Okay, so start to start 2, basically 0 plus 2, you will have 2, so just make it on top here kecil. Okay, so 2 plus 6, you will finish 8. Okay, on the other hand, you have finish to finish 3. So finish to finish 3, so 5 plus 3, B will finish 8. Okay, so minus 6, you get 2. So kebetulan is the same, so it doesn't matter, so either one would do. So 2, 8. Okay, so A to C is a normal finish to start. So you finish A5, you will start C5 plus 4, you get 9. Okay, so here as well, two relationship, so evaluate both. So start to start 4, 2 plus 4, you get 6 plus 8, 14. Or finish to finish 4. Okay, so 8 plus 4, you will finish 12. Minus 8, you will finish 4. Okay, so to accommodate this relationship, to ensure that you do not overlap, you cannot choose 4 because you start after 4 days. So hence, to allow that to happen, so we will select the larger one, 4, and you will complete 14. Okay, so just to accommodate yang you need to start together after 4 days. Okay, so start 6, complete 14. So from here, normal finish to start, you finish 9, E will start 9, plus 8, you finish 17. Okay, so here same. Okay, so you have 3 relationship here. So evaluate all and choose the largest one. So from here, you have 8. So from here, you have start to start 4. So 9 plus 4, you will have 13 plus 10, you have 23. Or else is finish to finish 3. Okay, so 17 plus 3, you will finish 20. Plus 10, minus 10, you will finish 10. Okay, so comparing 8, 13, and 10, 13 is the largest. Okay, so this will cover everything. So it will not overlap the activities. So 13 plus 10, 23. Okay, so from D to F, it will be 2 relationship as well, similar. So conduct both. Okay, so 6 plus 5, you get 11. Plus 10, you get 21. Okay, so for finish to finish 4, 14 plus 4, you will complete 18. Minus 10, you will start 8. Okay, so 11 is bigger here to accommodate all activities to complete, start together or complete. So 11 plus 10, you finish 21. Okay, so normal finish to start, finish 21, you will start 21. Plus 5, you finish 26. Okay, so 26 and 23. So this is straightforward, finish to start. So we can start 26 plus 8, you will finish 34, like what you have found. Okay, so thank you for completing the exercise as I requested. Okay, so let's just finish the backward pass. I hope everyone has done the exercise and everyone has got the right answer. Okay, so hopefully everyone has done it. So precedence diagram will be used also later in the chapter or in the topic on crashing. Okay, so time cost optimization though. So it's not only for the test, you will use it in the subsequent topics nanti. Okay, so make sure you understand how it works. So 34 minus 8, 26. Coming backwards, okay, so if I starts 26, G will finish 26 minus 10, 16. Okay, so coming backwards here as well, 26 minus 5, 19. Bukan. Did I get to 21 Betul. Alamak. Okay. Okay, so 21. Okay, so moving backwards, so 21 you start, you will finish 21. Okay, so minus 10 days, 11. Okay, so coming backwards here, you will calculate both and choose the smaller one. Okay, so I'll put the number here. Okay, so coming backwards, start 4. So if G start 13, E will start 4 days before 13. Okay, so 13 minus 4, you should get 9. Kat sini okay. Oh, sorry. Wrongly done. Early start pula. Okay, so here, bottom, coming backwards. Okay, so start 4. So G started 16. E would start 4 days before G started. Okay, so 16 minus 3, 13. Plus 8, you will finish 21. Okay,
Bukan
so
4 ke,
coming back.
doktor?
Mana?
4 kan? 16 minus 4. Start 4.
16 minus 4.
Start 4.
Betul? Oh ya,
So
12.
12.
16 tolak 4, 12 kan?
Betul, doktor.
Okay, 16 minus 4. Okay, thank you. So 12. Okay, so start 4. So 16 minus 4, 12. So 12 plus 8, 20. Okay, another relationship, finish to finish 3. Okay, so finish 26 minus 3, you will finish activity E, 23. Minus 8, you will finish berapa 17 15.
15.
Okay, so 15. So basically, the smaller one to accommodate so that it's not overlapping, you will get 12 and 20. Okay, so coming backwards here as well. Okay, so I'll just put the number here. So if you follow through, then you will see that, okay, this is related to this and so on. So but this one will be 2 kan. Okay, so coming backwards, 11 minus 5, you get 6 kat sini. Plus 8, you finish 14. Another relationship, finish to finish 4. Okay, so 21 minus 4, you get 17 Okay,
17.
so 21 minus 4, you'll finish 17. 17 minus 8, you'll get 9. Okay, betul tak? In case I get
Betul.
9. Okay, so a smaller one will be 6 and 14. Okay, so that it doesn't overlap. Okay, coming back here is simple, straightforward. You start 12, E ni start 12, so you will finish C, 12. Minus 4, 8. Okay, coming backwards, here you have 3 relationships. So you need to evaluate all of it and choose the smallest one. Okay, so we start from the top one. Okay, from here easiest. Okay, so G starts 16. Then here contributing number will be 16 as the finish. So from here start. Okay, so 6 minus 4, you will start 2. Plus 6, you complete 8. Another one is finish to finish 4. Okay, so 14 minus 4, you will finish 10. Minus 6, you will start 4. Okay, so the smaller one will be 2 and 8. Okay, so the comparison that you need to see is the same comparison. So we look at the finish. Okay, so either you're comparing 16, 14, or 8. Okay, so 8 is the smallest, hence we will select this 8, 2. Okay, so from here, the contributing from C will be 8. So from SS2 here, okay, so it will be 2 minus 2, you will start 0, 0. Okay, so 2 minus 2, 0, plus 5, you will finish 5. And finish to finish 3. Okay, so 8 minus 3, you will finish 5. Minus 5, you get 0. Okay, so you will compare 5, 5, and 8. So 5 is the smallest, so hence we choose 5. And you complete 0. Okay, so practically this is the forward and also backward pass. Okay, so which is the critical part for this? So what are the critical activities?
A, B,
A.
D,
Okay, we have B,
D,
D,
F,
F,
H
H,
dengan I.
I. Okay, so your critical path, easily you can identify this, okay, because your earliest finish, late finish, earliest start, late start is the same. Okay, so your late finish minus your early finish, 0. So A, B, okay, so this line, so you can see all is 0 here. Okay, so rule of thumb, if you're on the critical path, your free float definitely 0. So which means your activity A, B, D, F, H, I, total float is 0, free float is also 0. Okay, so your free float cannot go more than your total float. So it must be 0. However, the other activities which are the total float is not 0 might be having a free float. So let's check on the activities which are not on the what do you call critical path. So for activity C, okay, so let's try finding the free float for activity C to E. What is the free float? For activity C to E, what is the free float for activity C? Zero, it should be 0. Okay, so activity C to E, okay, when we are trying to find the free float for activity C, we are trying to see how many days of duration does activity C has from the time it finish before E start, because this is a finish to start relationship. So your early start of the next activity minus your early finish of the current activity. So 9 minus 9, you should get 0. Okay, total float pula, your late finish minus your early finish, or your late start minus early start. So total float for activity C is 3. Okay, so next one for activity E. So what is the total float? What is the free float for activity E? So activity E is having relationship of E to G. Okay, so there are two relationships here. Okay, so you might want to calculate both as well just to compare. So E to G, okay, we have start to start 4. So let's check on the relationship of start to start. Okay, so activity 13, okay, minus 9 minus 4. Okay, so how much do you get?
0.
Okay, so how about the relationship of finish to finish 3? So 23 minus 17 minus 3. What do you get?
3.
3. Okay, so usually we'll go into the free float, which is the smaller one. Okay, so we will say that the free float for activity E is 0. If there are several several activities after activity G, okay, but if we are asking about what is the free float for activity G in general, we will pick the smaller one. Okay, so meaning to say that your activity G free float will be 0. But if let's say it is stated according to the relationship or according to E to something else, please identify accordingly. But if it's a general statement, even though if it has several relationships, you will choose the smallest one. Okay. All right, so activity G, I think will be, okay, so let's say activity G, okay, so the free float for activity G would be normal finish to start, okay, so your thoughts would be early finish of the next activity minus early finish of the current activity, no lag, okay, so then it will be 0, it will be 3, okay, so 26 minus 23 without any lag, so the free float for activity G to I is 3. Okay, total float as well, G to I is 3. Okay, so your free float cannot go bigger than your total float. It's either the same or can or smaller than that. So it will not go beyond that. Okay. All right. So far, any question from this? Draw forward. Okay, so moving forward is where we are going to touch on the date format. At this moment, any question on the example?
No.
Okay, so
No.
okay, so since we have completed the exercise a little bit earlier, let's just go on with the date format. Okay, I'll just have a short introduction on the date format, and I want to use a new slide. So this is just, can you see this new slide? No. So I need to close. Okay. So in general, the questions or the precedent diagram is basically that. Okay. So another thing that precedence diagram could do is basically the date format. Okay. So to make it easier, let's just go through based on the relationship. Okay. So let's say we have activity A, we have activity B, okay, and we have a normal finish to start relationship. Activity A is 1 working day, B is 2 working day. And let's have another A, B, 1 working day, 2 working days, finish to start 2. Okay. If I start activity A, okay, on 1st of May, let's see. Okay. Let's say your first working day is on the 1st of May. So when will you finish your work? When is the finish date? Any idea? If we start our activity on the 1st of May, imagine that you are going to work on 1st of May. When will you finish your work?
4 Mei.
One day ni, duration of 1 day. This one, date tau ni, 1st of May. Let's say you masuk kerja 1st of May. You enter your job 1st of May. So when will you finish your work?
2 Mei.
6 o'clock.
Again, second lagi. Any other idea from that?
Only for A lah, madam.
Again?
Only for A.
Only for A first. Sebab kita nak buat example dulu.
2
Similar
May.
as what we have done in the numbering form. Okay, so we will do in the date form. So just start with A dulu. It's just an example before we go into the full example. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so let's say this is our working day. Okay, and you start your work on 1st May, let's say. So if you go on to your work, okay, you start the activity on 1st May. Bila you habis activity A ni? One day duration.
One
May juga.
May.
It should be on the 1st.
Why?
Yeah, it should be on the 1st, yeah. Okay, so imagine you are going to work. Okay, you go to the work in the morning. Okay, so your earliest start time will be on the 1st. One working day will be the 1st evening, so 8 to 5, something like that. Okay, so activity A, if activity A starts on the 1st of May, one working day activity A will finish on the 1st juga. Okay, so if it's a normal finish to start relationship, if activity A finish on the 1st, when will activity B start?
Second.
Second. Okay, so activity B will start the next day. So imagine you pergi kerja in the morning 8 AM, you kerja one day, you finish your work 1st May in the evening. The second day you masuk kerja is the tomorrow. Okay, so 2nd May. So in calendar form is very easy. Okay, so start, you imagine kat sini, the start 1st May. One working day, you finish here, you are landing at the finish of the 1st. Okay, so the front is the start of the 1st. Finish line shows the finish of the 1st. Okay, so one working day, it shows the finish. You are trying to find the finish, so it shows the finish of 1st. Okay, so you start on the 2nd here. Okay, 2 working day, 1 day, 2 day. You want to find the finish, so it shows the finish of 3rd. Okay, so coming backwards, you finish on the 3rd, so late finish kat sini, so you finish, it shows the late finish. Minus 2 days, you want to find the start, right? So it shows the start of 2nd. Okay, so if you start 2nd, the prior activity is finished. Okay, so you're landing at this line here. It shows the finish of 1st. Minus 1 day. So you land here, it shows the start of 1st. Okay, understand?
Faham.
Okay, bagus. Alright, so the next date will start on the 4th. Okay, so let's say kita start on the 4th. Okay, so start on the 4th kat sini. One working day, it shows the finish of 4th. Okay, so you start in the morning, it shows the finish of 4th. Okay, finish to start 2 days, you have the lag in between. Okay, so 1 day, 2 day. You end kat here, which shows the start of 7. Okay, so 4 days, you habis 4 kat sini. 2 days, okay, so it shows the start of 7. Okay, so you want to find the start. So plus 2 days, okay, so 1, 2, it will show 8. Okay, so you finish 8. So kat bawah lah. Okay, so the calendar. So it will be Monday kat sini balik. Okay, so 1 day, 2 day, you will finish Monday 8.
Doktor,
Yeah.
tak cuti ke?
Let's say kita anggap je kita kerja the whole week. Okay, cuti nanti once we have familiarize ourselves with the calendar, we will introduce example dengan bercuti and so on. Okay. Alright, so cuti je kan you all ni. So coming backwards, 8 minus 2 days, it shows the start of 7. Okay, so the start of 7 kat sini, minus 2 days lag, you want to find the finish kat sini, so it shows the finish of 4. Okay, so finish of 4, 1 day it shows the start of 4. Hold on Okay, all right. So this is on finish to start. Let's say we have start to start. Okay, so start to start relationship. So same thing, let's use A, B as an example. So start to start together and A, B. So start to start with 3 days lag. Okay, so let's use 2, 2. Okay, 2, 2. So okay, so let's say this is the calendar. All right. So let's say we start our day or our activity on the 1st. Okay, so 2 working days, when will I finish?
Third.
Third pula.
Second.
Second. Second.
Okay, so I start on the 1st, 2 working days. Okay, I would finish, it shows the finish of 2nd. Okay, so you nak tengok finish dia. So finish of 2nd. So you just think that 2 working days, you bekerja 2 hari. Pagi petang, pagi petang. So you will finish the 2nd evening too. Okay, so start to start relationship. So this one is straightforward. If you start activity A on the 1st, you will start activity B on the 1st juga. Okay, so start to start. So 2 working days, same. So you will finish on the 5th juga. Okay, so coming backwards, 2nd, minus 2 days, you will start on the 1st. Okay, so start to start, you start on the 1st kat sini. Activity A will also start on the 1st. Plus 2 days, you will finish on the 2nd. Okay, let's say the next activity A starts on the 3rd. Okay, so 3rd. 2 working days, we will finish when?
4.
4. Okay, on the 4th. Okay, activity B start to start 3 days. So when will activity B start?
7.
11. Lagi?
3.
3 lagi? Any other answer?
6.
6. Okay, so it is supposed to be 6. Alright, so we start here. Okay, so start to start 3, which means B will start 3 days after activity A started. So activity A started here. 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. 3 days after, it shows the start of 6. Okay, so you started 3 days after, it shows activity B should start 3 days after. So it will start on the 6th. Okay, so 2 working days, it will finish on the 7th. Coming backwards, 7. Okay, minus 2 days, you will start on the 6th. Okay, so start to start 3. So you started 6 kat sini. So A will start 3 days before. So 1, 2, 3 days before. It shows the start of 3rd. Okay, plus 2 days, you will finish on the 4th. Okay, so I think we can end with 1, 2 on finish to finish. Okay, so the last one. So finish to finish relationship. So you have activity A. You have activity here. Okay, so let's say it is finish to finish and finish to finish 2, let's say, and we have 3 days duration and 1 day duration. Okay, so 3 days, 1 day. Let's say we have the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's say we start 1st May. Okay, we'll finish when?
3.
Okay, 3rd May. Okay, so finish to finish relationship, we will ascertain the finish to finish. So when will be finished?
3.
3rd also, okay? 3. And if B finish 3, when will B start?
3.
3. Okay, so finish to finish relationship, A finish 3rd, B will also finish 3rd. Okay, so finish 3rd kat sini. 1 working day. Okay, it shows the start of 3rd. Okay, all right, so the next one, let's say we start on the 2nd. 3 working days, you will stop at
4.
4. Okay, so let's say B is having finish to finish 2. So B will finish 2 days after A finish. So when B will finish?
5.
Another one? Another answer? Bila? Berapa?
6.
4.
6, 4. Okay, 4 definitely no, because there is a lag kat sini. Unless it is like this. If it's a finish to finish without lag, then yes, it is 4. Okay, so 4 memang tak ada. Okay, let's see. If we place 4 at the finish with 2 days lag. Okay, so B will finish 2 days after A finish. So 2 days. It shows the finish, okay? It shows the finish of 6 actually. Okay, if only 1, okay, so 4th you finish. Because ada answer 5 kan, 4th finish is only 1 day. It shows the finish of 5th, 1 day je. So for 2 days lag ni, so from 4th extend it to 2 days, you stop here, it shows the finish of 6. Okay, so 6 finish, 1 day, so you will start also obviously on the 6th. Okay, so 6 minus 1 day, you will start on the 6th. Okay, so 6 kat sini, 2 days, finish to finish, 2 days. So 1 day, 2 days, it shows the finish of 4th. Okay, so 4th finish minus 3 days, it shows the start of 2nd. Okay, so far any question on this one, this date format ni? So this is just like an introduction to the date format. Okay, so and also total float, free float, you cannot just minus. Okay, so it is between. So for example, okay, so for example, if you are finding for total float for activity B, okay, so you cannot minus date because date cannot be minus, it's not number. So you are trying to find from 8 to 8, the distance of duration. So from early finish 8 from to 8. Okay, so 8 to 80 lah. Okay, so basically you land at the same line. Okay, so that is basically on total float and free float nanti. But you'll be we'll go detail kemudian lah. Okay, so this is just like an intro. Okay, so I will pass the next class to Dr. Mazna. So I will mention to her that we have finished on the precedence calculation, total float, free float, and I have just prepared or basically gave example on how to conduct date format. So I think she will move forward with the date format. Okay, so any question on this one?
No.
No. All right.
No.
So good that we are team teaching, because at least you can have several materials that you can actually learn. Okay, so I will just put my video as well, because my other classes with C4 C5 will continue as usual. So if you require additional material, then you can just jump in the YouTube and just look into the video just for an additional material. Okay, so I will pass on with that. So far, any question that you have for me? The test will be on 10 June. It will be objective. Okay, so the test will be in objective, the last that I've known. Okay. All right, any other question? I think the assignment will be provided by Dr. Mazna. Okay, so the assignment will be based a lot on the front chapters. Will be on chapter on priority metrics, project definition, and so on. Okay. Anything else you need to get info from me? Tak ada Okay, so if there are none, basically I'll just remain in the group as well. Okay, so if there are things that you need to ask from me or whatsoever, so just get back to me. Okay, so if there are no other question, I think we can stop the class here, and I thank you very much for your commitment and attention throughout the 7 weeks of ours. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doktor.
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.